many people, so I thought, heck, I can get up there and do that. Then it come tonight and you fill the place right up, and I'm nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Anyway, we don't have a ton of mule skinners in Canada, but we do have a few. And I want to tell you a story about one. His name is Elvin.
Oh, no.
And Elvin, he tends to wander off a bit, and his good wife, Gail, never knows exactly where he is. And one night, just late afternoon, just coming on dark, kinda, Gail heard this thrashing in the barn, and she went out, and there was the mule Snickers, obviously in agony. Snickers was kicking at her belly and thrashing a bit and carrying on, so she went right back into the house, and she called Dr. DeVries. And Dr. DeVries says, well, now, Gail, he says, you're pretty near sure it's an impaction. I really can't come over this evening because I'm taking my lovely wife, Alma, and we're going out to an auction sale. But if you get some mineral oil and you get a hose and you insert that hose carefully under that mule's tail and pour that mineral oil in, that'll loosen things up and that mule will be just fine. So Gail thought, well, I can try anything once. So she went back out to the barn, and she could not find a piece of hose anywhere, no matter what she did. But she spied Elvin's French horn on the wall that they used for calling the hunt. He liked the hunt a bit. Well, she thought this would work pretty good. So she got the horn down and very carefully inserted it under the mule's tail. And then she was kind of holding it in and reaching up and couldn't see real good. And she got a can that said mineral on it, and she pulled it down and poured in a right big dose. And it turned out that it was mineral spirits instead of mineral oil. Now, y'all probably know mineral spirits is otherwise known as turpentine. Well, that mule, she just reacted like Wile E. Coyote when he knows that thing's going to hit him on the head, that anvil. He just froze and then started to kick and carry on and broke right out of that stall and started running out the laneway. Dead as fast as that mule could run. Well, as soon as she started to run, things started to loosen up a bit in the inside there, and the horn started to blow. Now, every dog for miles around knew when Elvin's horn blew that they were going on the hunt. And they started coming from here and there and yonder, just a yapping and a barking and a howling, and out the lane and down the road this menagerie went. Well, they went flying down the road and they went past a place, Old Man Trask, Ross Trask. He lives kitty corner there from Miss Hardy. And Ross, he was just sitting down the other day. Now, Ross has a lot of interest in life, but he does make a mean batch of shine. And he liked to sit down late in the afternoon and enjoy a glass or a jar of his shine. So he was sitting there, just sat down and took a couple of gulps of shine, and this menagerie went past. This mule with the horn, the tassels on the horn flowing, and the horn a-blowing, and the dogs a-barking. Well, I'll tell you, Old Man Trask, he set that shine down, took the pledge right there on the spot, and he's the first man ever elected honorary chairman of the Women's Christian Temperance Union after that episode. But anyway, on down the road they got, and they were coming up to the lift bridge over the canal down there, and just tooting going on, and there was a guy by the name of Roy, Don Roy. He was the guy in charge of the lift bridge. And he heard this noise a-coming, and he thought it was a tugboat. So out he goes and he starts cranking up the lift bridge. Well, this mule never even slowed down. He went up that bridge, dove straight into that water, and the dogs behind, one little splash after another. Well, that diving in the water did two things. It dislodged the horn, and it gave the mule a bit of comfort, And so the mule and the dogs climbed up on the far bank and lay down and got some rest. And the problem with this story is this. Old Mr. Roy, he wanted to run for Parliament. Now in Canada, our Parliament is a lot like your Congress, only occasionally ours does something. But anyway, old Mr. Roy, he wanted to run for Congress. Well, and he only got, in the end of the election, there was 100,000 or some voters in his riding, and he only got 2,206 votes. And the reason is the people decided that government already had too many people in it that didn't know the difference between a tugboat and a mule blowing a French horn out his butt. Thank you very much. Jim Merriam, ladies and gentlemen.